Hey guys, so it's nice to be talking to you guys again. I have had a very busy week. I've been transitioning into another position at my work, and because of that, I've had to really focus on, picking up how they do their process, and um, that's taken up a lot of my time. But because I'm a quick learner, I've been able to adjust and do what I need to do. And throughout that time, I also did write some stuff down that I wanted to share with you guys. So this year has been starting really well for me. I've been working on some bad habits that I developed over the course of a couple years because I wanted to progress very quickly, and I found that if I did certain things, then I was able to focus better, and by doing these things at the very beginning, it can be helpful. But over time, it became worse and worse because, like, I'm not a person who struggles with consistency, discipline, um, or what was the third one? I had a third one. But I struggle with um, I struggle with excessiveness. So my issue isn't I that I'm not disciplined, that I'm not strict, that I'm not consistent. Like, I can do all those things. I'm really good at following through with my goals, but I can do things excessively, which then is an issue because you have to give yourself a break. You can't just continue to push forward, you know? As much as you push forward, you also have to balance that out with the rest that you need. So there's a couple of things that I've been working on. Number one is I don't want to eat until I'm full anymore. I don't need to get to that point in order to feel like I'm done, you know? And this is such a hard one because when you order out and you get something like, Cafe Rio, it's a big meal. Like, you start eating it, and halfway through, you might already be full, but you don't know it yet. Like, the food just tastes so good. And then as you continue to eat it, you get to maybe like a third of it left, and you're getting like full, but you don't want to just put it away. You just finish the whole thing, and then you're just like beyond full. um, and I don't want to get to that point. Can I just eat to a certain point and stop and then continue on with my day? Because that way, we're not getting this food coma from that, and we're not feeling, bloated, and really just food isn't getting in the way of our life. The food is there to help us, to give us what we need to recover, and also um, to enjoy a bit as well. Because something that I've struggled with in the past is um, I've denied myself a lot because of the knowledge that I receive and the things that I come to know. And one of those things has to do with um, not eating things that are bad for us. And when I mean bad for us, I mean um, that are excessively um, like potent, and we just eat too much of it. And if it was a lighter amount, then I'm sure we would be able to handle it just fine. But because nowadays, when it comes to food, they make it in a way to make us eat more constantly, um, then we don't feel like we're energized, and we don't feel like we should when we're eating these things, especially things that are processed. But recently, I had been fasting a lot, and it was a way for me to to manage my life and to manage my stress and the things that I've been going through. And it did have benefit. There is benefit in fasting, but I was doing it excessively, of course. Once again, the issue that I had. And because I wasn't eating enough, I I just wasn't progressing. I just hit like a plateau doing that as well. And I remember telling myself, okay, what do you want to eat right now that's just going to help you to calm your nerves and just continue on with the things that you already do, with your responsibilities? And what would make you feel good? And what I thought about was I wanted to eat some ramen, and not just like ramen that you buy at the store, but I mean like prepared ramen from a restaurant. Like when people take the time to really think about, what they're putting together and going through that process and really making sure even the broth tastes good. Like that's what I care about. And so I ordered ramen from Jinya. I ordered ramen from Jinya twice, 2 days in a row, because I knew that that was going to hold me over and it was going to help me to get through the day, even though I was taking in so much information and, trying to process things and go just as fast because, people are waiting on me and I need to deliver. So, um, I got the ramen. The first thing I did, of course, was, just taste the broth. And it was so good. Like, why was I denying myself for so long? Um, and and I didn't feel out of it. I didn't feel bloated. I didn't feel any of that afterwards. So I just enjoyed I just enjoyed the meal. I'm not on a diet. I feel very healthy. I take care of myself really well. I'm at the gym all the time. And um, I don't know. I can feel it in my face. I can feel it in my eyes. Okay. Another one. Um, yeah, this is a bad habit that I picked up throughout that time. I chewed a ton of gum. And like I chewed so much gum that it's like a smoker who smokes cigarettes. Like I would wake up and I'd go to the gym and then I'd chew gum while I was there. And then I'd come home and after I had breakfast, I'd chew more gum while I worked. And then later on, if I would write, I chewed more gum while I was writing. And then on the weekends, when we're having a good time with everyone, I chewed even more gum. And because I did it so excessively, I needed to I needed to just stop. And I feel like my digestive system has been way more controlled, and I'm not so like I my body feels tighter because I'm not chewing gum. I don't know if that would happen if you decided to do that, but because I was doing it so excessively, then I think it was so beneficial that I just stopped doing that. And I'm 16 days in, and I'm seeing a huge difference. And I saw a difference like 3 or 4 days in. So that's why I was like, you know what? No. If I already stopped, why start again? Just completely stop. And this is so hard because I literally have like maybe 3 or 4 packs in my bag, in my room, in my drawers, just because that's how much I chewed. And I look at it, I'm like, no, no, I'm just gonna close my mouth, do whatever I need to do, and I'm not gonna just give in and let that be something that is gonna make me feel off. I think I was chewing so much that like my stomach, I would get like stomach aches. I think it was because I just wasn't putting food into my body. And of course I did eat throughout the day, but there was times where I would just go for hours and I didn't eat food. I just chewed gum. And when I would fast, I wouldn't eat food, but I still chew gum. See, so that's the issue right there. I'm sure it would have been better if I just didn't eat and just drank water, because when you're doing a water fast, then like you don't want to trick yourself that you're eating. Like Yeah. Okay. And then here is another one. Uh, okay. What you're seeing here is natural energy. Um, because I've seen benefit from taking stimulants, I was taking them all the time. All the time. And it's one thing to take them right before I go to the gym, right when I wake up, and I get myself going and I start moving and it wakes me up and I can really focus while I'm there. But it's another thing to get home, take them again, and as soon as they wear off, take them again, you know? And I was doing that for years, years, just like trying to get ahead and get to where I want to be in my life. And that stuff just caught up to me. And I decided this year, I said, you know what? No, I'm only going to do it right when I wake up. That's it. That's it. I only need that benefit, that support right when I wake up. And then I can get to the gym and I can get everything out of my system. And I don't need to excessively overwork myself, because the more that I do that, the more that as soon as I stop, okay, because as long as I'm constantly moving, constantly working, as long as I'm going to the gym every single day, then I'm fine. I don't even feel the pain. But as soon as you stop is when the pain hits you. And, I did need to stop. Um, I still don't really take rest days, but I've been I've been forced to stop a couple times. You know, one being the holidays and when things aren't even open. Then I'm like, "Ah, what do I do? I just stay home. I'm just here. And then my body's like, oh, so you're not going to the gym today? So you're not pushing me today? Okay, now I can finally recover. And as I do that, um, I start feeling all this pain that I had become numb to for the longest time. And in those moments, I realized, like, okay, Kevin, you're older now. I'm 28. I turned 28 this year, in on January 3rd. So I've been I've 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 noticed things that I didn't notice before. Hmm. Hmm. And another thing that has helped me with when it comes to only taking stimulants in the very beginning of my day is that I feel more at peace and I just feel happier, you know, because I'm not so on edge and I don't feel like I need to go anywhere. The type of person that I am is I'm a calm person. I'm collected. I do have all this like energy and all these things that need to come out, but I generally have ways to take care of myself, to manage myself. And, one of those ways is being at the gym. Another one of those ways is being able to talk to people who care, people who will actually listen. And besides those things, and okay, one more. I also write. I really have been enjoying writing a lot, and I've been putting things together, organizing my work, and I'm looking to put something out this year. So that's what I've been saying when that's what I've been referring to when I say that I wanted to make something more tangible. And that is more important to me than going to a rave, going to a vacation, um, anything that I could be looking forward to this year. I'm okay with putting that to the side to work on this that I've something that I've wanted to do for a long time, and I'm finally putting it together. So um, those are ways that I manage, you know, myself, and I I then can be calm, collected. I can feel at peace. The other day I went to Gosu, and Gosu is a Korean barbecue spot. And it was nice. I didn't feel like I needed to leave. I wasn't rushed. Like we were just there to enjoy time. I was there with one of my best friends, and it was just to talk, to catch up. And that just, to me, that means everything. Like I don't need to have a big party. I don't need balloons. I don't need, no. To me, no. No, I don't want a happy birthday. I don't want that. No, what I want is to be able to talk to somebody that cares about me, somebody that I care about, and to really say the things that you feel, because sometimes you are going through things and you just don't feel like it's the right time to share it, and you need to have those moments, and that was one of those moments. so so we had been, sitting there and enjoying the wonderful food. I love the atmosphere, the way that it's all set up. The food is great. And I remember so I think she's the owner. I'm not sure. I was told she was the owner, but I don't know. But I think she's the owner, and she comes around and she's like, "Oh, hey, so how's everything tasting?" And she's like putting things down, and she's also like giving us like tips on like how to do things, because uh, it would just be better, and as she's doing that, I'm just thinking like, "Oh, it's great. Like this is thank you, I appreciate it." Um, but what would be better? Maybe if you want to take a seat, maybe we could eat together. Maybe we could feed each other. I would love that. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. She doesn't have to do that, but it was good. It was good. And that right there just showed me um, that it has been a few years that I've just been like overdoing it too much. And at this point, what I prefer is a balance, you know, to have chaos and to have order, to have love and to have pain, okay, to have both, to be able to smile and to be able to cry, to give each thing its own due time. Not not to say that we should take away, the things that are hard, not to say that we should take away the pain. There's things that we can learn from that. And I appreciate the fact that I still go through those things, and that because of my perspective, because of what I'm learning from it, I can also then appreciate when good things happen to me. When you expect a disappointment and then it turns out well, and you think, I finally have a break. Like I've been pushing myself for so long, and finally, this time it wasn't a disappointment. Okay, so let's scroll down. One sec here. Um, I'm just gonna throw this out there as just a little extra thing, okay? But at first, I wanted to, remind you guys about this, but then as I'm seeing things become so volatile, I've also thought, um, maybe it's just for the people who are interested in it, but not so much for everyone. Um, I don't know if you guys follow crypto, but I've been following it for many years, and I mean, I've seen it as a new way of thinking and a new way of communicating and working with the world, because it's not just here, not just here in the US, it's everywhere. And there's a lot that can come of it. But right now, it's booming like a lot. And there's a ton of opportunities that we can have if we take them. Of course, it has to be learned, right? And um, I'm not your financial advisor, so I can't tell you what to do. I can't tell you which one to pick um, or at what time to buy. But it's worth looking into for sure. Okay, so we we also went to Wendover the other day, and while we were there, um, my number hit, and like, see, this is what I'm talking about when I say that it's nice when you expect a disappointment and finally you catch a break, you know? And so I sat down, I'm playing roulette, and my number is 21. And I have a couple. I look for like 8, 11, and 21, but I had been playing this way that I kind of just picked up, and I thought that it would be great to just like stay on section 2. And so I don't know if you've ever played roulette, but roulette is a game where it is played by different sections as well as different numbers. And then you have colors, and then you have a couple other sections, and then you have zero or double zero, which are green. And I never play those. So it's pretty much a 50-50 chance, maybe 1 in 3 chance, and it just like, and it goes, like you get worse and worse odds as you go further and further in. So if you just play one number, then I think your odds are like way off. But if you hit that number, then you get uh, 35 to 1, and that's like whatever you put in there. It's good money, you know. And I was just playing like red or black second section, and then I was just playing numbers in the second section, never really moving out of the second section. So if it goes outside, then I would lose, but if it goes inside, then more than likely I'd win something. And I was like up and down, I wasn't like winning too much, but um, enough to just continue to play. And then I saw this guy who was playing like really risky, and he was like playing with $100 chips, and I've never done that before. And I saw him, and he's like doubling up like real quick, and I thought, you know what? Maybe I just need to get a big one. I just need to get one big one, and then I'll just walk away. That's all I need to do. And so I start playing a little more risky, and I just start losing, and I thought like, I was winning. Um I've been conservative with my game, and now I'm playing risky and I'm losing. Like, probably not a good idea. Like, maybe that wasn't the best idea that I had, but you know what? Whatever. Like, I was only playing with 100 at the time, and I'm almost out of it. Like, it's almost gone. So let me just let me do a real good hand, okay? And so I put like 11 on red. I put 11 on second, because this table was a $10 minimum table, so you have to put down at least 10 chips. And so I put 10 on red, 10 on second, and then I think I put like 10 or 11 chips on 21, and then I put 2 chips on the corner of 21, and there's like a couple other numbers, and then 2 chips on the other corner of 21 and a couple other numbers. And I never watch the board where it tells you, what number is the next one, but I just let the person who is over the game, I let them grab the there's like a, I don't know what it's called, like a pin or a pawn or something, and then they place it on the number. And he put it on 21, right? And the people on the table, they had seen the number before I did because it was on the board, but I wasn't paying attention to the board. And they're like, "Oh, you won!" And they were kind of like expecting me to be all excited, but I was kind of just waiting for the guy to put it down on the number. And then it's like, "Oh, I did win!" Like, finally. How many times have I gave you money? I just pretty much gave you money, Wendover. How many times? But finally, you paid me. Finally, you paid me out, And I was happy. I was like, I'm gonna walk away. I'm done. Cash me out, Um, I got some peach soju, and I'm good. I'm good. And then I just waited it out until, I came home. So, like, it's been such a good year. It's been such a good year. It's only been like 16 days. Uh, if you're watching this on a video, my hair is blonde right now, and I did a color correction. I'm not, this is just for another week, but it's because I'm going to put another color into it. And I appreciate so much, my guy Mike, who takes care of me, and he just knows, more than I do. And anytime that I explain something to him, he's able to, formulate the words better for me to understand what's going to happen, and then for him to show me, he's got great work. Great work. Maybe I'll put his Instagram handle, down below, and you guys can go follow him. Uh, like, it's worth looking. It's worth following to see the outcomes of the hair. Okay. Okay. And so, like, the point of me doing things like this for myself, like doing my hair and, taking care of myself, is a form of self-love. It's not because I hide anything. It's because I'm finally just accepting who I am, and I'm I don't want to deny myself. I don't want to hide those things about me. You know, Growing up, I've had experiences with people that, because of them not understanding me, because they put me down, and they, made jokes and stuff, it it still got to me. And it has been hard internally, because it's like I also have those sides of me that um that I can interact with. And what I'm referring to when I say those sides of me, I'm referring to a couple different ones. One being, the child version of me has gone through things that I cannot deny that they happened. I know that I've grown from them, but I cannot deny that they happened, because if I do that, then I'm also ignoring the issues that I have, and I'm treating him just the same way as other people had treated me. You know, I don't want to do that. I want to give him his time, his space. I want him to know that I was there, that I noticed everything that happened, that I saw it, that I care, you know. I also have a shadow, which is more of like the dark side of me, because of what I've gone through as well. That when you hate yourself, and you just feel ashamed, and you just don't feel good about what you are, because you've been rejected and you've been denied, then it's like this thing follows you everywhere you go. And what I used to think was, let me fight this thing, let me overcome this thing. But what I've had to realize is that everything has its place. Everything requires balance. And that version of me is a version who shows me fear, who shows me my dark, the darkest depths that I have, but also a version who just needs to be loved, just needs to be accepted, just needs to be heard. And what I've been working on most recently, and this comes to me in time. It's not something that I just decide that I'm going to work on this. It's something that I notice, and because I notice it, I care about it. And so the other version of me is my feminine side. My feminine side that I have shut out. I have put to the side, because it hasn't been accepted before. And what that led my life to be was that I was being overly masculine, overly confident, full of myself, you know, when I was growing up. When I look back, a lot of it was that I just didn't want to open up fully. And I was afraid that if I said something, then people are going to look at me in the wrong way, you know? And they're going to put these labels on me and they're going to put me in this box. And I don't have to be in a box. Like, just because I have these feminine qualities doesn't mean I have to be in this box that you view me in. No, no. I'm a guy. I'm straight and I have feminine qualities. That's it. That's it right there. And at this point, I'm just much happier because I'm just letting it happen. You know, I had this dream where I met a girl and she was taller than what I'm used to. You know, when I'm attracted to somebody, usually they're shorter. They're shorter than me, and I want to say that I've overcome this, but maybe there is still a side of me that still cares about this. But the first time that I fell in love, it was with a person who was shorter than me, who looked very like innocent, very like like a like a what is it? It's not a peaceful soul, like a pure soul, you know, dark hair, and I, as I was growing up, I would relate a lot of people to her, and I needed to get to the point where I just loved people for who they were, but I still saw beauty in people like that, you know. And in this dream, I met a girl who was taller and not somebody who I am used to being around, but like I felt like I knew her and like we had a relationship. And I just remember like laughing with her, right? So it was like it's like we're hanging out and like and I remember just like bumping shoulders with it. Like I'm bumping shoulders with her and we're just both laughing and um I couldn't remember who it was. Like I couldn't picture her face, you know? And I woke up and then I start writing about this dream. And when I start writing about it, I start seeing like features. Like I'm trying to remember exactly who that person was. Maybe it was somebody in my past, maybe it's somebody that I met quickly and I just don't remember, you know, exactly who it is. But when I really thought about it, I was like, you know, I think that this person that I met in my dream that had very similar features to me and was also tall like I am, I think this person was just me, but me in a girl form. And what I felt that this dream gave me was a confirmation that I'm finally in a better relationship with that side of me, you know, that I'm finally accepting it and I'm giving it a place in my life, that I'm not pushing it away. And to me, that like, I've been writing for so long, for so many years. Um, my heart, it gets me so deep because I cannot deny these things. Like these things happen to me, and because I've put an importance on them, I receive them again and again. So there was another dream that I wanted to share with you guys. And this is actually my dream journal. It's not something that I'm looking to publish, but this is like the rough draft of all the dreams that I've had. And as I was writing, I had this one dream, and it is a it is a confirmation that my higher self has been paying attention and listening to what I'm doing here, to this conscious self that I am here, because I'm not just me. I'm I am a human, a person who can make mistakes, who's allowed to make mistakes, to learn from those mistakes. But I'm also the higher self, which sees me and which is there to help me, help guide me through, the things that I go through and learn from those things. And so in this dream, I remember opening my eyes and I came to a place where we had been on a long migration. I was the leader of a group of people who had traveled from another land because we lost our land and we needed to find a new place to finally settle down. And as we're traveling, we find ourselves confronted with a group of people with what looked like to us to be savages because they didn't represent what we represented. So we were looking down on these people. And I also do remember them having they had these vultures. There were three-headed vultures. So these birds with like bald heads and dark feathers. And those were like their pets, right? And so like I'm going in there and I start like killing them, and then we also start attacking the what we believe to be savages because we were afraid for our lives, and we were also looking for a new place to call our own, and that was the place that we were going to call our own. And I remember finding an old man, a very old man, and in my head, what came to me was that he was their leader. And so I went up to him and I slashed him with two slices of my sword, right? And he fell. He fell and he died. And then I was taken up in a vision. And in this vision, I could see him come out of his body. He was then a spirit. And he said, as though he was speaking to a god or speaking to his ancestors, please take this as my sacrifice for serving your people. And as I saw that, I realized that he wasn't a savage, that these people who I looked at as something else were just like us. And the name that came to me from him when he died was the name Catharsis. And I remember waking up because I pay really close attention to the things that happen to me in these dreams. And I remembered a name, Catharsis. I didn't know who he was or what that meant or anything. Never heard of this in my life, by the way. And so I woke up, I wrote it down as quickly as possible, because if I didn't do that, then little by little, the images and the dream would just go away, you know? And so I get up and I start looking this up, like who in history is Catharsis? Is he a person? Is he was he influential? Maybe I might find something, because I have done that many times with my dreams, and I have found things that I don't even know how that word even got to me, and as I'm looking this up, what keeps popping up is catharsis is a word that was used by Aristotle in the Poetics. And I don't read Aristotle's work. I know he's a famous person, I know he changed a lot of things because of what he wrote, but I don't even know what the Poetics are, Um, and so I looked up what the word means. And let me pull that up real quick here. Okay. And so the word catharsis, a brief definition of it, is the purification or cleansing of an extreme change in emotion that results in renewal. I have been working on myself and trying to understand why I am the way that I am and what I can do to make good things out of these experiences that I have. And in that dream, my higher self sent me a message that, look, I see you. I see you. I appreciate the fact that I can even go through these experiences, that I can remember them, that I can write them down. And I know that by providing my influence, that I am benefiting the people who get to listen to it. I know that. I know that now. And as I continue to receive more messages, I'll continue to write more. And as I continue to write more, I'll continue to share more. And thank you so much, guys, for tuning into this episode of Confessions of My Morning Cardio. Thank you.